So there was a screening at Horrorhound of Candy Corn, and the director did let everyone know up front that it was technically a 95% done print, okay? So take that with some consideration as you check out my review, spoiler-filled, of Candy Corn. Alright, gotta let everybody know up front, this is going to be a spoiler-filled review, so if you have not seen it yet, go check it out. Alright, you're here, so just to make sure we're all on the same page, in some town that has a carnival in, basically some guys that are definitely way too old to be doing this, have some sort of Halloween tradition where they pick on a sort of developmentally challenged guy for reasons that are not entirely clear. It's fun. I don't know. Anyways, when they do it near the carnival where all the sort of carnival freaks, well, okay, the carnival barker, Poncho, witnesses it, and they take it too far, beat him up real bad. So, Poncho decides to take revenge, and hilarity ensues. All right, we start off with likes, and I did like the idea. You know, obviously bits and pieces of everything else. Nonetheless, I did like the idea that, you know, the sort of outcasts, the disregarded, you know, stand up for their own, regardless of circumstance, and, you know, through supernatural means, exact their revenge. Classic, but still lovable and adorable. It is a star-studded cast, you know. Wow, just on and on and on. All the stars of name acquitted themselves admirably. And this was, to be fair, an extremely low-budget film. And there were a few gore scenes. And what they did that I think was very, very smart is, so there's a scene where the sort of resurrected mum, Zulu, you know, zombie, whatever, slow guy, attacks and kills one of his attackers, and he rips his spine out. Now, they simply don't have the budget to show you that, which I get, right? So, they show him, you know, pinned against the wall, some blood dripping, his eyes open, and then later, next scene, they show him with, you know, holding the spinal column with the blood dripping off, okay? Now, some people are going to be like, it's a ripoff, man, I really want to see the gore. Yeah, well, I want to see the gore too, but I do understand, and I have to extend a certain amount of courtesy. You know, when a film is working on a budget that I can't even imagine, you know, what it must have been. They really maximized that budget, and not just, you know, with what they did, but with what they shot and how they edited it. That was kind of my point. It's like, okay, if you don't have the budget to show someone's spine being ripped out in real time, but you want to show a gory spine, you know, this is the way to do it. So I certainly did appreciate that. And, again, you know, actually, the sort of zombie, you know, resurrected slow guy, did like sort of, again, super low budget. So they gave him a mask, they, you know, messed up his hair, they had blood everywhere, but it was consistent throughout, and he looked very good. Regardless of budget, and I really appreciated the makeup work, shall we say, that was done on it. All right, it is dislikes time, and as much as I liked the stars, the non-stars acting left a lot to be desired. You know, I mean, there's something to be said. They're known names and stars for a reason. You know, Tony Todd, Pancho Malaro, and the rest. They're stars for a reason. However, you know, it really kind of boils down to the director. You got to be able to pull that performance out of that actor or actress regardless of their level. And sadly, I just didn't see that on that level. Second of all, this was a work in progress. Print 95%. I sincerely hope that one thing is changed, because if it's not, it's going to be a huge dislike for me. And that is the scene where the slow guy is being beat up by the people. When they were punching, you didn't even get a noise like this. And this is just my hand. You know, it was very muffled. And I'm hoping that they just had not put the sound was there, but it wasn't the sound of someone getting their ass kicked. You know, it was just the sound of like, you know. So you know, again, I'm gonna cut them some slack on that one because they did say that this was 95% done. Above and beyond that, though, it just didn't seem like you know, there was any real you know, effort made to maximize, you know, what you had. You know, Pancho was certain there. Tony Todd was kind of wasted, to be honest. I mean, just wasn't in really that much. Didn't really have much of an impact. And, you know, again, that might have been a budget, right? I mean, Tony Todd ain't cheap, so they can only have so much. So it's a little bit hard to do, you know, some of these reviews because you do have to you know, a lot of the things that you would complain about, they simply had no control over just because of the budget. So, but they did definitely have control over the acting. Possibly also casting. Understand, with the independents, you don't get a wide pool of people that are going to work for either free or next to nothing. But your teenagers or your early 20s that are still living at home with dad and beating up slow adults shouldn't be 35-year-old dudes. And the lead actor definitely looked like that's what he was. Just a side note. Small things, but they all add up to a little bit of a distraction. All right, it is Pinhead time, and it's really not fair to compare it to, you know, the big, huge movies that have been released in the theaters and everything else. So, on its own merits, as an independent film with a tight budget, I'm still going to say that there are things that have nothing to do with budget that should have been improved. There was some interesting things in there. I liked it. Sort of a middle of the road for me, so it's going to be a 3 Pinhead movie. Alright, so what do you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below, especially because I'm kind of betting that when you guys see this, you'll be seeing the 100% final product. Let me know if they fix those punching things or not. And while you're here, punch the subscribe button, punch the notification button, and punch the like button. There's a lot of punching going on.